Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Hope y'all are having a great day so far. Man, I'm excited about today. I know that you're going to love the topic. Today, we're actually going to be talking about the third pillar to becoming an authentic authority in your niche. And I'm going to open up my full Facebook Messenger playbook, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to book 40 plus appointments every single month without running ads and without cold messaging strangers. Before we actually get started, I'm going to drop a comment in the chat here. And I want you guys to click on that link so that I can actually see your names when you comment. That'll help me to see who's here and also just keep track of everybody and engage with everybody. So if you're watching this live, then make sure and drop a live in the comments. Let me know who's here and let me know where you're calling in from. Let me know where you guys are, what channel, what city, where you guys are from. That'd be awesome. All right, we got a few people on here. Anybody gonna say live? If you're here, just let me know you're live. I know a lot of people reached out to me, couldn't make it live. So if you're watching the replay, let me know that you got this and drop a replay in the comment section so that I know you got to watch it. And we're going live in the Facebook group right now. If you're not part of that Facebook group and you're watching us on one of the other channels we're live streaming on, then make sure if you want to invite, drop group into the chat. I'll reach out to you, make sure you get an invite to the Facebook group. In there, we talk all about how to book appointments organically without, again, running ads and without running or cold messaging strangers. And we do that using what I call the authentic authority framework. So if you're interested in joining that group, drop group into the comments and we'll get you an invite. So first of all, let me open up my deck here. First of all, who is this for? Who is this training for? Well, it's for, hold on one second. It's for coaches. So first of all, it's coaches, agency owners, and course creators who want to sell high ticket products and services. Okay, so it's also for B2B businesses that have an audience that's active and can be found on social media, and they want their businesses, or they thrive on booking appointments for their business. So you've also tried Messenger and you've got little or no results. A lot of your messages might be getting ignored, or even worse yet, getting angry comments back. So, and you guys know that if you could find a strategy where you could actually, a structured strategy that could actually help you to get more booked appointments, and you knew what you're doing day in and day out, you could grow your business a lot quicker. And you really need a structure on who to reach out to, when to reach out to them, and then how to talk to them that doesn't, in a way that doesn't repel them, so that you can build those warm relationships with your potential customers. You can fill your calendar with sales calls, and then you can also have better sales conversations with prospects who are already sold on what you're offering. Okay. So if that's you and you're tired of sending messages to complete strangers, and you're tired of getting ignored, or even worse yet, getting yelled at in the DMs, and you want a strategy that actually works, do me a favor and type me into the chat. Let me know that you're ready to build your own Facebook Messenger playbook so that you can stop avoiding or annoying your customers and getting ignored by those people. Drop a me in the comments if that's you. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So I created something I call the Authority Messenger Playbook. And it's basically a series of messenger conversation flows. Okay. Each flow targets, let me go to my next slide here. I'm really a novice at this StreamYard thing, so bear with me. Okay, so the Facebook Messenger Playbook, really it's a series of messenger conversation flows. Okay, so each flow targets curated opportunities. Okay, meaning these opportunities are flowing into your pipeline on a daily or almost daily basis. They're generated through a consistent method of generating these opportunities. And there's a clear process on how to take these new opportunities and turn them into booked calls. So that's the first step that your Messenger Playbook should focus on. The next thing your Messenger Playbook should do is prioritize your warmest opportunities or your low-hanging fruit opportunities. Okay. Each playbook also should have a specific goal, and we're going to show you how that works in a second. And then each play should also be easy to track iterate on and then improve over time until you kind of hit that sweet spot of prospecting where you're booking a ton of appointments with as little effort as possible. So if you're ready for me to show you my playbook, type a 1 in the chat. Let me know, drop that 1 in the chat. And then if you're ready to see the Authority Messenger playbook. All right. Cool. We got some me's from other earlier comments. Live. Everybody's live. England. David. Hey, what's up, David? Got some live people from Austin, Texas, Palm Desert, California, all the way over at England. Oh, hold on one second. Lost my screen here. All right. Okay, 1 second. Bear with me. All right. So before we get started, definitely want you to have something to take some notes with. I'm going to take you from start to finish through all of our Facebook Messenger plays, so you'll know exactly what to do when you get off this call, and you'll have the entire framework. So plus we'll do a little Q&A at the end of the session if you guys have any questions that you want answered. So I'm just excited to have everybody here live. And again, if you're joining us live, drop a live in the comment. If you're joining us on a replay, make sure and you let me know by dropping a replay in the comments. So we're actually going to dive in just a second, but I wanted to give you a little quick backstory on myself. If this is the first time we're meeting and the first time you're watching any of our lives, I've been in digital marketing since 2010. Started my first agency in 2010, grew it to mid 6 figures, and I've grown and scaled 2 other agencies to mid to high 6 figures in that same period of time, that 12 years. And in 2019, I started my 3rd agency, and I scaled it to mid 6 figures using 100% organic prospecting on LinkedIn and Facebook. I've literally never used a single ad to grow any of my businesses. Now, when I first started this most recent agency, this was really at the very beginning of the online boom for agencies. A lot of people have come online to start agencies, and the space hadn't become nearly as oversaturated as it is now. And I was in a pretty narrow niche of helping yoga studios grow their memberships. So there wasn't a lot of competition. And at that time, the coaching boom hadn't happened either. A lot of agencies and coaches had come online recently. And so, there were several different coaches out there teaching people how to start and grow agencies. And, I had grown agencies before, but I wanted to be very specific and very intentional about how I was going to grow my agency. So I joined one of these coaching programs. It was awesome. I love the guy that did it. Learned a lot of great stuff. But I also learned a lot of bad habits, and that's kind of on me. They had messenger scripts in there that we could use to book appointments. And I basically copied them word for word. I just copied and pasted them. And, it actually worked for a little bit, but why do you think it worked? Well, first of all, I was in a narrow niche. There wasn't a ton of competition. It hadn't become oversaturated. All the audience had not seen a lot of these tactics yet in that particular niche. So that's one reason that it was working. And again, it didn't have a ton of competition. So it was just kind of me messaging. It was a new kind of novel approach to booking appointments in that particular niche. Now, it did work, but it also annoyed and repelled a lot of the people that could have been my potential clients down the road. So that just didn't feel good. I don't like, confrontation. I don't like negative responses or rejection, just like a lot of you don't. And so it just didn't feel good. I knew there was a better way. And then I started to see a lot of more competitors come into the niche, and I started seeing my response rate to my messenger conversations go down, and then also the appointment rate started going down. So the reason I saw this dip is for several reasons. One of which, I know that I saw some more competitors coming into my particular niche, and I knew that they were all in the same program that I was in. And so they were using, just like me, the same messenger scripts. And what I would see, and people would call me out and say, "Hey, I literally just got this message like earlier today by 2 other people." So I specifically remember those occasions of that happening. So that, again, did not feel good. And it was really embarrassing, to be quite honest. And guess what? Since COVID, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have either lost their job, quit their job, and have come online to start businesses, whether they're coaching programs or agencies or different types of online businesses. And if they're smart, and they're just getting started in the online world, they probably need to hire a coach, to be honest. And so there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people joining these different coaching programs, all learning the same tactics, all using the same scripts. And what happens is people are just naturally lazy, let's be honest, and they don't add their personality, just like I did, copy and paste. They don't add their own personality to these scripts. And I call these people copy and paste cowboys, but again, I can't really talk because, that was me. And it's not really their fault. It's really what people are being taught these days. But it really creates a saturation point in the market and things stop working. So this is what you're looking at here is the cycle of growth tactic effectiveness. So what happens is somebody discovers a new tactic and it works really well, and then it gets optimized, and then the third step is people start adopting this particular strategy, the masses do, and then the strategy just stops working. Okay. And that's the last part of the last step of the cycle. And so the tactic in fatigue stage is where your prospects start ignoring these different strategies and they become blind to the different tactics. And I'm not saying that these tactics don't still work. They do. People wouldn't do them if they didn't work, but it's a numbers game, and the response rate and your appointment rate is just going to continue to go down because more and more people are going to be using these tactics. And I know you've seen a lot of these tactics, one of which is just the straight pitch with a really bad offer. I mean, how many of us have gotten messages in Messenger that are just a straight pitch and the offer sucks? Like, I'm never going to answer this person. But I have started answering people just because I want people to respond to me. So I think there's a good kind of give to receive situation there. So I'm always trying to be nice to people, but sometimes it's just so annoying that I don't. And then you have the never-ending interrogation questions of strangers. This is one of the more annoying ones because especially if you're doing it to somebody that doesn't know you yet, and you're just asking them a bunch of questions, that's annoying as hell. Nobody wants to sit there and answer your 20 questions. Now, there is a time and a place for qualifying questions, which we actually have in our playbook, but it's not at the beginning of a relationship. It's not the first thing you do in a conversation. So if you're trying any of these strategies, just think to yourself, would I respond to this approach? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. Okay. And if you want to succeed right now in organic outreach, you have to do something different. You have to think outside the box and kind of zig when everybody else is zagging. And it's not easy. It's a lot of work. You've got to use your brain. You've got to put your own personality in some of these things. And like I said, I used to use all these different tactics, and I learned some bad habits by doing that, but because I saw some success, but over time they actually stopped working. And what I noticed that the people that were actually crushing it in all the different niches that I follow and these people were not chasing down prospects. They were not trying to start conversations in the DM and creating that sense of desperation. No, they were spending their time building their authority and having people chase them down. And that's a much better position to be in. Okay, so that's the position I want to be in. That's the position I want all of you guys to be in. So I started researching what levers I could use to accelerate authority and influence. And I knew if I could figure out how to do that, then competition wouldn't matter anymore. Objections would disappear, and sales call would just become a formality at that point to enrolling a new client. Okay. So not to mention, I could take these same skills and I can use them on any business venture I ever do, because these strategies are timeless and they're niche agnostic. And it's been quite of a journey, but I think I've cracked the code. And I've been working with bunch of big name 7-figure coaches, as well as gotten coaching from those people. And I've always these are multiple different niches. And I've been able to watch and learn how these different businesses are able to grow so fast and scale so fast. And the secret really in every single case, and if you look at all the people that just crush it out there, is that they've grown a community of customers and raving fans by building and leveraging their authority, and then using a low friction messenger strategy to send to the right people at the right time to book appointments and fill their calendars. And that's it. That's really the secret. Okay. Now, what I'm going to show you today is just a small piece of that. It's going to be the messenger strategy. I'm going to give you a very structured messenger framework that you can implement right now to start filling your calendars with qualified people that are ready to buy. So now, before I show you the Facebook Messenger playbook, I want to ask you guys, how many calls are you booking right now from your current Facebook strategy? Don't be shy. And try not to embellish. I really just want to get a good feel of where everybody's at, as where everybody's at, and what you're doing as far as booking appointments right now. Looks like, are you guys seeing my screen? I got a comment that says they can't see it. Type a yes if you can see my screen. Okay. All right, cool. All right, awesome. So anybody want to share how many appointments you're getting right now for your Facebook strategy? Okay, everybody's going to be shy today. That's cool. No worries. All right, so I'm going to start by showing you my authentic authority framework. So this is going to lay the groundwork and give you some context around how the playbooks work. Then I'm going to actually open up FlowChat, which is the tool we use to run our playbook, and walk you through each of the individual Facebook plays individually. So one last time, let me know if you're excited for this training and drop a 1 in the chat. Okay, let me know. All right, so what you're looking at right here, can everybody see my screen? Give me a 1 if you can see my screen. All right, so I think you can see it. So what you're looking at here is the authentic authority framework. And essentially, this is a framework that I coach our clients on to accelerate authority and fill their sales pipeline with qualified, hot prospects that are ready to buy whatever they're selling, okay? And it all starts by leveraging your Facebook profile to create engagement and build authority, and then funnel people into a Facebook group. Now, I've found that your Facebook profile is really one of the most powerful marketing tools that you have available out there, okay? And the most powerful authority builders that you have. Now, this is a profile. This is not your business page. These are totally different, two different things. Let's get straight. This is your personal profile, okay? So if you ever pay attention to your notifications, you can see that they're dominated by alerts for your profile, right? Also, if you're training the algorithm like we coach people in our program, then more of your ideal customers are actually going to see your content and engage with that content, which is kind of the first step in all this thing. So with your profile, if you want to start training the algorithm, here's what you need to do. First of all, you need to max out your 5,000 friend lists, okay? First of all, you need to optimize your profile. That's the first step. You need to, gear it towards who you're trying to target, have some great content on there, and then have a banner that funnels people into your Facebook group, okay? Then you want to max out your 5,000 friend limit, okay? We want to have as many friends as possible that are in our particular niche, that are seeing our content on a regular basis. Then each month, what you're going to do is you're going to curate that list. You're going to trim down the people, 10% of the people that are not engaging with your content, or they're deactivated profiles, or maybe they're old people, old acquaintances, old friends that you don't really keep in touch with anymore. I use my profile 100% for business. So I've deleted a lot of those friends. My close friends don't need Facebook to keep in touch with me, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to add new targeted friends to your profile on a daily basis. Okay, so we're building back up that 10% that we just curated from, and they're going to be in our target audience. And with our content, we're going to hopefully create enough good content that keeps those people engaged, and our engagement rate is going to go up. Now, then what we're going to do is we're going to invite those people, those new friends, to our Facebook group. Using either messaging, Facebook Messenger, the invite button in the group, or our two-step post strategy. Two-step posts, if you're not familiar with the two-step post, that's basically where you're posting something of value on your profile, and then you're asking for a comment. If they're interested, then you can reach out to those people and then funnel them into the Facebook group. So let's actually open up FlowChat now and take a look at the playbooks for leveraging our profile and growing our Facebook group. Okay, so this is FlowChat. If you guys are not familiar with FlowChat, I talk a lot about it in our Facebook group. It's the tool we use to kind of manage our prospecting, our outreach, okay? So this first Facebook play here is our cold prospects invite to group. Now with FlowChat, you can import from all these different channels. You can import from Facebook messages, you can import from likes, friends, groups, comments. Now I automate my friend requests or my growing my friends through another tool, which if you're interested in that tool, drop a message in the chat and I'll reach out to you and let you know what that is. But I automate that process, and then I automate what I call the icebreaker, which is the first message that I send to people. A little bit of a note on the icebreaker. I found that the best icebreakers to use are humor. If you can get somebody to laugh, they will bring their guard down and you can have a regular conversation at that point. People's guards are up these days because they get bombarded by people in Messenger. Make them laugh, gain a friend, and then have a conversation, okay? So what I do is I import into the icebreaker stage. Now you can either import from a group and then you can send friend requests and you can send your icebreakers through here. I automate all that just to make it save some time. And then you can, a couple of things you can do here. You really want people to join your group by going through the moderation questions. That way you can collect information on them. You can have a question in there, which we'll talk about in a second, that says, hey, this is what we do. Would you like for us to reach out and schedule a call? 10% of the people that answer that question are going to say, yes, I want a phone call. So that's, if you're getting 100 people per week, that's 10 phone calls a month right there. Okay. So another thing we can do is we can actually invite them to our group using the button in your group that says invite. And I can send up to maybe 35. If you go much over that, you might get blocked by Facebook. So just be careful if you're using that for the first time. So then we'll invite them and then we'll notify that we invite them to the group. And then I get about 40% of the people that I become friends with that are actually joining my group. That's pretty damn high because on most other channels, you can't even get a 40% response rate, but 40% of the people that I'm getting as friends are joining my Facebook group. So the whole goal of this particular play is to get them to join the Facebook group. And the great thing about FlowChat is that you can actually track your stats here. So you can see, exactly, and this is just a dummy account, but you can get an idea of exactly, how many people you're sending that icebreaker, how many people are joining your group. And if you're tracking this a little bit more granularly, you can track each of your different stages and see how your icebreakers are performing. So you can improve the different stages of your conversation. Okay, so that's the first play in our Facebook profile plays. Okay, next one's going to be our two-step post invite to group. So this is another way that we're able to grow our group is by posting a two-step. Remember, a two-step is a post that's giving away something of value. All they need to do is comment on the post. You'll reach out to them, and then the training or the lead magnet is inside the group. So they have to join the group to get that lead magnet. You reach out to them via Messenger, let them know that training is inside the group. So what we would do here is we would import from comments on Facebook. So you can go to Facebook, import your comments. You can also import the likes, bring them into this stage. We're going to send them a message that says, hey, I saw you comment on my post. The training is in the training or the lead magnet is in the group. Here's the link to the group. Okay. And then if they haven't joined the group, we'll send a follow-up. And then if they haven't joined the group after that, we'll invite them via the button in the group, like we mentioned before. And then the goal of this is to get people to join the group, and then we can tag them in a group post that has that training on it. So that's the other play, using our profile to grow our group. Okay. So let's go back over to our little diagram here. So now that we've got a consistent way of getting people into our group, so this is going to help you to grow your group by 100 people per week, easy. So what do you do next now that people are in your group? You're constantly growing your group. Well, we need to take those new group members and convert them into sales calls. And there's a few ways that we can do this. First, we can do it using the moderation questions like we mentioned before. So one of our questions is like, hey, this is what we do. Would you like us to reach out and schedule a call to learn how to implement into your business? Okay. And like I said, about 10% of the people that request to join your group are actually going to raise their hand and say, yes, I'd like to book a phone call. So that's a ton of appointments right there if you're growing your group at 100 people per week and they're going through the moderation questions. But we also need a play that we can use to convince the other 90% to book a phone call, okay? So now they're part of our group. They're getting to know us. We need a way to take those other 90% that hasn't said yes yet to actually booking a phone call, okay? So, and we'll look at those plays in a second. Our other play for converting new group members into sales calls is using a more direct two-step, okay? So this is like a more of a, would you like to work with me two-step? And then the people that raise their hand, you reach out to them and book a call. And then you do all that through Messenger. So let's head back over to FlowChat. Let's take a look at these two plays. All right, so the next play that we're going to look at is this direct two-step. This is a long pipeline or a long play. Let's wait for this to load. So basically what we do here is we import them from the comments or the likes if you want to there, pull them into this stage. We're going to send the confirmations message that says, hey, you mentioned that you wanted us to reach out to you for this. Are you still interested in this? You send that confirmation message and then wait for them to respond. Once they respond, we move them here and then we ask them permission. Again, this is where you're actually coming in and you can start to ask these qualification calls or questions. Now that you've had some conversation previously, they've been in your group, maybe they've seen some of your content. This is a way to subtly ask permission to ask these questions. If you just go in and start asking questions, they're going to get irritated. But if you ask permission, now you can start asking those questions. So that we take them through a series. Once permission is granted, we take them through a series of 3 questions. You don't want to ask too many questions to annoy them. You want to make the first question very easy to answer, yes, no, either or type question. And then once you've asked your third question, then you want to transition into booking the phone call. So that's that pipeline. And the whole goal of this one is to get them on a phone call. Okay. All right. So let's head back over to our framework here. And then the final play in our, I don't think I went over the other one. Hold on one second. So then we've got the ones that we're transitioning for new members that did not say yes to the phone call. These are people that came into the group, but they didn't raise their hand to book a phone call. This is very similar to the 2-step post strategy. We're going to send them a welcome message. We're going to send them a message once they respond to that welcome message. And then we're going to ask permission to ask these questions. And then the rest of the pipeline is very similar after that, or the rest of the play is very similar to that. And then we've got a much shorter pipeline or play that is for the people that did say yes to being reached out to and schedule a phone call. So that's this pipeline here. And so this is a very short one. They replied yes to a game plan call. We have Zapier, a Zap setup that pushes these people into this stage automatically. We use a tool called Group Funnels where it pushes the answers to the moderation question to a spreadsheet, and then we can create all kinds of automation from that. So we push them into this reply to game plan call, and then we work to get that call booked. So that's another way to book phone calls from your Facebook group. And then the final play in our playbook is all about following up with people that we've had quality sales conversations with. There's a lot of people out there that get lazy around this or forget. And it's very easy to forget to follow up with people especially with all the other things that you're doing in your business. So we need a play to help you stay organized so that you make sure that you're following up with all these people that you've had great sales conversations with. So let's take a look at the sales call follow-up play. So if we go to our last play here, this is basically where we're following up with the sales call. Okay, let's let that load for a second. Sometimes it can be slow on Zoom. So then what we do is once they book a call, we send the confirmation message. If they cancel or have to reschedule, we can send them a cancellation message. Once the call is complete, we move them over here, and then we can send the follow-up right after the call is done, and then we can add whatever follow-up we want to in these pipelines. Everyone's going to have some different follow-up cadences, but think about that and think about when you need to make some touch points with these people so that you can follow up with them, especially if you had a really good sales call and they're just they're very close to going with you. You can send them a lot more content. You can send them some case studies, some testimonials to help push them over the edge. So that is our full playbook. I know that was a lot. But now we'll kind of take some questions. If you guys have some questions, love to see what your feedback is on all that stuff. Let me know what you think. Anybody have any questions? I'll kind of scroll through the comments and see if I see anything. How did y'all like that? Was it good? All right, not seeing any comments. Do you guys have any questions? All right, cool. Well, basically, that is the messenger playbook. So let me ask you a question. If you had a choice of building this from scratch, creating all the pipelines, writing all the messaging scripts, learning how to track and optimize all these campaigns yourself, all on your own, or you could have someone basically take these same exact plays, implement them and install them into your business with all the playbooks, all the plays, all the scripts pre-written and ready to go for your business, push them into your account in seconds, and then get the exact process for tracking and optimizing these campaigns. Would it be helpful to help you and have somebody to help you accelerate your authority in your niche, build that trust, know, like, and trust with your potential market, and then help you to hit those consistent 5 and 6 figure months? If you had to choose one of those choices, would you go with A, doing it on your own, or would you go with B, getting some help and guidance? And for those of you that are interested in the second option, I know a lot of you guys can probably crush this on your own and learn it on your own, but it's going to take some time and there's a learning curve to it. So if you need help, you can book a game plan call. If you're interested in a game plan call, just drop a game plan into the chat and I'll reach out to you to book a phone call. I'll also drop my booking link into the comments when I'm done with the training, so that you guys can book a call if you're interested in talking about it. On that call, we're going to diagnose, where you're at, where you want to be, and then what steps you need to take to get there. If we think that we can help you get there faster, we'll make an offer, and then hopefully we can work together and help you hit your goals this year. So if you want to book a call, just type in game plan into the comments and I'll reach out to you after this. And again, I'll drop my link into the chat also. So if you're interested, you can book a call through that link. All right. So we've got a couple of questions. So you don't use FlowChat, but another tool to friend peeps. Correct. Yes, I have a tool that automates the friend requests and my icebreaker message. So it saves a lot of time by doing that. So you mentioned, are the tools you mentioned integrated, or is something we need to set up? So FlowChat is, when you say integrated, explain to me what you mean there. Integrated with what? Yeah, just clear that up for me and I'll try to answer your question. With group funnels, can I manage unlimited groups? Yes, you can. If you manage multiple groups, I believe if you have one group funnels account, it's connected to your profile. So you can manage as many groups as you're an admin of, and you'll want to push those into different spreadsheets. But yeah, you can do that. Any other questions? Thanks, Pam. Always lovely to see you. Anybody got any other questions? How many different systems do we need to make this system work? You really just, in my opinion, need flow chat. I mean, I've got the plays. If you're interested in that, you can book a game plan call and see how you can get those. But I use two different systems for Facebook, and then I use another system for LinkedIn, which we didn't talk about today. But I have a LinkedIn, a little bit less robust playbook on LinkedIn. Sorry, there's a car horn honking. I don't know if y'all can hear that. But so I use two systems with Facebook. One is for automating my friend requests and sending my icebreakers, and it does a couple of other things for two-step posts. The other one is flow chat, and then I use a tool called Expandy for LinkedIn. Group funnels, I can drop here. I'll drop my affiliate link in for group funnels if you're interested in taking a look at that. It's a one-time fee where there's several of them out there that are. Let me see if that's my car. It is my car. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to type in group funnels into the chat, and then that's my affiliate link for group funnels. If you can see that, yeah, I think I want to say it's like $250, $290, something like that. But it's a one-time. There's other ones out there that are monthly. I think another one's like Group Kit, Group Convert, a couple of different ones. Any other questions? All right, I know we're at about 36 minutes. Any other questions before I cut it off for the day? All right, everybody. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me. I know y'all could have done anything with your time today, so it means a lot to me that you would spend this time with me. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. If you want to see any other types of content, please let me know. I'll try to create it and do some of these lives and help you guys, solve some of the problems and obstacles that you're facing right now. So thanks again for joining us. Again, if you are not part of the Facebook group, let me know. Drop a group into the comments and I'll send you an invite. All right, guys. So that's it for today. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. See ya.